It is Sweet 16 time as the Cats are getting ready to take on the Tennessee Volunteers for the third time this season. You could argue it's one of the biggest matchups between these two teams ever. And these are teams that have matched up a lot historically. We're going to break down this game and what Kentucky has to do to beat Tennessee a third time on today's episode of the Wildcats Today Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak, publisher over at Kentucky Wildcats on SI. Joined as always by Carson Nash. Carson, you said the butterflies were hitting you yesterday. Like, we're a day closer. Like, how is the feeling different today? Because I'm feeling it today more so than I was yesterday.
Yeah, it still feel it. Honestly, I don't know what was up with me yesterday. I felt it more yesterday than I feel it today. So I feel like tomorrow it probably is just going to punch me in the stomach altogether, and I'm just going to be a mess all day long.
I'm going to be like, I'm just be driving down tomorrow, just like I don't want to listen to music. I don't want to speak. I'm just going to be stressed out the whole drive down there. And then, like, I'll have fun watching the warm-ups and all that, and then that ball is going to get tipped, and I'm just going to be, like, dying on the inside for 40 minutes, hopefully ending in happiness, not anger and aggression. But Carson, Kentucky's beat this team twice. And at the end of the day, the analytics don't like us. People picking don't like us. Nobody likes us in this game. They didn't the first two times either. And I'll tell you, it's going to be hard for me to pick against the Cats in this game, just knowing how well we've played. But let me ask you this question, Carson, and I think this is what it's going to come down to. Kentucky has shot 12 of 24 twice against Tennessee from three. So we are 24 of 48 between the two games from deep. We've shot incredible. They've shot horrendous 2 straight games. Will that continue? Will that trend continue, Carson? And then if not, how does Kentucky win if these teams are kind of shooting equally?
Yeah, you can never really guess how well you're going to shoot because sometimes the ball just doesn't go in the net. But I think the way Pope schemes and I think our size really disrupts Tennessee. And I think that's part of the reason why we get so many open shots. I think we're a little bit bigger than they are. We're probably a little more, as much as they're a physical team, we might even be a little more physical than they are. And the thing that excites me, I don't necessarily want to talk about the 3-point shooting as much as I want to talk about one. Andrew Carr was not healthy in either of those games that we played against Tennessee. And we only had Lamont for a half in both of those games. So you missed 2 of your starters against them and still end up winning both of those games. The second one by 10 points. So, and you didn't have Lamont for the last, 15 minutes?
When it mattered the most. When it was, he was out when it was still tight and we stretched the lead.
Yeah. And the thing that really excites me is now Kentucky's starting to play defense, right? Mm-hmm. Now, since February 11th, you're the 9th best defensive efficiency in the country. So that's a big step up for the Cats and where they were throughout the season and where they were when they played Tennessee, honestly, because that was probably back when we were around sitting like 121st or whatever. But I mean, you got to think about Tennessee's not very good at scoring anyways. We're playing in Indy. The stadium is a football stadium, so it's going to be harder to shoot in anyway. I think defense is the biggest thing for Kentucky, and I think the key to the game is kind of stopping Chaz Lanier, keeping him quiet like you have been able to the first 2 games.
I'm actually anxious to get in the stadium and see. The Pope talked about it today in his presser. Like, was it coach speak? Did he really think it? Because everyone's playing in the same court, So, but it looks weird. They've got that curtain. I think they've played games in Lucas Oil Stadium before where they've just like had the whole arena. And so they got rid of that.
I don't know if they played in the whole arena. I know in the Big Ten championship, they used it kind of the same setup that we have.
And I like this setup. I think it looks nice. I think I think that the shooting's going to be okay. And Coach Pope said that. But, Chaz Lanier is a name. It's a great point you bring up. He has not played his best basketball in 2 games against the Cats. He's averaging 12.5 points, but it's on he's got, first of all, it averages over 18 a game.
Yeah, he's 3 of 17 from deep.
Yeah, he has not shot the ball well against. Yeah, we'll pull up the stat I put out on our Twitter. Our Twitter's right there. So go follow that. This stat was out on there. Chaz Lanier, 2 games against Kentucky this year, 12.5 points per game, 29.6% from the field, 8 of 27, 17.6% from 3 of 17. But in the NCAA tournament so far, he scored 29 and 20 points. So he scored 49 total points in 2 basketball games. So he's playing good ball right now, Carson. And that's how we lose. Chaz Lanier playing like Chaz Lanier is how we lose. So Ortega, Colin Chandler, whoever is on him constantly, because obviously Lamont's going to be focused on Zakai. Those guys got to make sure you stay in his face because he will let it fly from anywhere on the floor.
100%. And I think that assignment is going to be drawn by Ortega. And I think Ortega kind of has had a chip on his shoulder both times against Chaz Lanier. Because Chaz, if everyone remembers, he was like the best guy coming out of the portal last year, pretty much. I mean, Kadari Richmond was ranked 1, but Chaz, we wanted Chaz as well. And so I think Ortega is like, hey, I'm here too. And he wants to prove a point. And I think he was able to in the first 2 games. So I think that's going to be another key in this third matchup.
Yeah. But I think what seen a lot of Vol fans on Twitter, different social media places saying things like, well, we shot terrible and y'all shot great. I'll be true. That's a fact. I think that even if we shoot poor and they shoot poor, we can win a dogfight. If we shoot great and they shoot great, we can win a dogfight. It's if they shoot great and we shoot bad, we lose.
Yeah.
We can beat them if we're both playing great or both playing bad, especially the way our defense has been better of late. But to me, and
you want to hear something that Vol fans probably don't like to hear?
What?
When you win twice and you weren't fully healthy, typically you're probably the better team overall.
Yeah. Well, you and I have been anti-Tennessee like for a while. I don't,
I've been since I came out of birth.
Yes, of course. But I mean, like this team this year, like I haven't seen it with this team all year long because I just think that defense is important. But I mean, they're a Gucci brand Texas A&M. I mean, like, you know what I mean? If they're not going to score at a high level, what does it matter? And yeah, they're elite defensively. They've got a couple good guards in Ziegler and Lanier. But I'll tell you who we got to watch out for. And I know that despite him playing well, we still won twice. But Igor Milicic Jr., that kid has had 2 good games against us shooting the ball.
That's where the car healthy becomes a factor.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Because if you've noticed against Troy and Illinois, Carr, as much as he's been good on the offensive end, he has been that much better defensively. He was a freak defensively against Troy. And Illinois. So I think that's a huge addition for us for him to be healthy in this game.
Yeah, I agree. That's exactly what I was going to say. Andrew Carr, though, he played that 1 minute. I don't remember. Who was it that blew by and dunked on him the 1 minute he checked in and he got subbed right back out? I don't think it was Milicic.
Yeah,
but
I don't remember.
That happened the first game against Tennessee. He literally checks in the game. The guy blow by, dunks on him. We're like, I don't think Carr's healthy. Because I remember that game, it was like his car.
It was like, get him out.
Yeah, he's not healthy. Old man back, get him out. And then even that second matchup where he played 19 minutes off the bench, I mean, Anzo Almonor outplayed Andrew Carr significantly in that game. I think Carr was 0 for 3, 19 minutes, 2 points. It wasn't a great game from him. He's healthy now, and I think that's going to make it harder for Igor Milicic to have a third great game against the Cats. But once again, this game, I think defense is going to play a big role because our offense is really good. We're going to score. We're going to score points.
We're getting 75 points.
Yeah. If we can stop Milicic, Ziegler, and Lanier, and I'm not stop. I mean, they're going to score. I'm just saying, if we can slow them down a little bit, we'll win this game. If they go off, that's when you lose. Inefficient. You want to make them inefficient, which is why I always say let Zakai Ziegler shoot as much as he wants.
We love efficiency talk here on the Wildcats Today podcast.
Yeah, because I think Ziegler was 1 of 11 from 3 in one of these games.
Yeah, well, they were 0 for 44.
11 for 45. And it was funny because I was looking, I'm like, man, we made 12 and they made 11? Why is everyone saying they shot so bad? And then I'm like, oh, they shot 45.
That just comes down to coaching at that point. Yeah. If you're going to be a terrible shooting team, Pope's going to let you shoot.
Yeah.
The only person on Tennessee you shouldn't let shoot is Igor Milicic and Chaz Lanier. Everyone else has free will. Go ahead, shoot it.
Yeah, especially if it's even somewhat contested. I mean, when Tennessee throws up a three and it's not one of those two guys, and there's at least a hand in the face, I think you say, "Thank you, good Lord, I appreciate it. We're cool with that."
The reason why Tennessee is good, it's when Zakai can get downhill and they seal off in the paint and he can get to the rim. That's when they become good, because then he can start dishing out to the outside and it makes them more than just one dimensional. So I think that's that key. And I think that's why they've struggled against us, right? I think Lamont wasn't even healthy, but Lamont being healthy and disturbing Zakai is going to be massive for us.
Yeah. I think the game we played in Rupp Arena against Tennessee should be the blueprint. And I'm going to tell you why. So we beat them 75-64 in that game. Not our best offensive day, but you're going against number one defense college basketball. 75 points will work. And in that game, what I love to see, yes, we were 12-24, 50%, all that. That was great. But we also only turned the ball over 8 total times. Your only starter that turned the ball over was Amari Williams, turned it over 3 times. I mean, if we only turn the ball over 8 times, we're going to win. Like, that's just the reality, because we take care of the basketball. Don't let them run out and get in transition.
Take care of the basketball, take care of the glass, and everything else will work itself out.
Yeah, I agree. The way we are playing defense right now, we're significantly better than them offensively.
The funny stat is we're actually rated higher since February 11th or whatever than Tennessee in defense. Yeah. So, I mean, if we really want to do that, we're better offense and a better defense at this point.
Yeah. But I mean, even if I agree with you analytically, but but I'll tell you this.
But at the same time, I think the emergence of Colin Chandler as a defender has been massive for this team. And like we talked about it, whenever we discussed, hey, we're injured during the season, this was us midseason, we're like, oh, we're injured. But we also thought it could provide like extra time for these guys to get better and progress throughout the season. And we've seen that with Colin Chandler and Trent Noah and Ansley and BG. So I think being a little banged up has actually helped us for this tournament.
I agree. It'll be interesting in this game, not really game talk, but I'm excited also to see what I think there's like 32,000 seats ish, something like that. Purdue's there. A lot of, Purdue's there. I mean, that's a big fan base.
Yeah, Purdue's the closest one, and then it's us, and then Tennessee, and then the one seed Houston's about 1,000 miles away.
I feel bad for him, kind of, actually. But like, it's going to be interesting to see what the stadium's going to look like. I'm looking forward to that. I think Blue's going to be very loud, very loud.
Well, yeah, the tickets are really expensive, so I'd bet it's majority Purdue and Kentucky fans.
Yeah. So no, I am in agreement there. So that's crazy. Yeah. So I mean, that's what we got to do. We shot the ball well against them the first both games. They did not shoot well. We've slowed Lanier. Ziegler was actually pretty good in the second game. He was 7 for 11. Ziegler 6 assists, 17 points. He was pretty good in the second game. It's Lanier who's really struggled in both games, but that's the key. Owe, Lamont, Carr, they've got to defend well. If they defend and we shoot the ball well, we'll win this game.
You haven't talked about the biggest X factor for the Kentucky Wildcats through both matchups.
Well, who's that?
That's our superhero, number 22, Mr. Amari Williams, Weetabix's finest. He's been killer against Tennessee. I mean, in the first matchup in Knoxville, he's plus 20 and 24 minutes on the floor and minus 15 when he was out of the game. So big key there. In Lexington, plus 16, only minus 5. So that shows that the defense got better. I think Amari Williams is the key to this game because Tennessee's physical. They love to seal down low to get Zakai open looks because he's about 5'8". They have to. But I think Amari is the key in tomorrow's game. If we get a good Amari game, I feel very comfortable about the Cats winning.
And I think he's playing better basketball from when these two teams last met. So I think that is going to happen. I think you're going to get a good Amari game. So, I mean, that's what we got to do to win this game. So, Carson, give me a score prediction. I'm pretty sure I said mine first against Illinois. So, give me your score prediction and an MVP for the Cats in this game.
Yeah, I got Kentucky winning the third matchup. What do they say? 72% of the time, the team that's won twice wins the third one. So I've got the Cats, and I think we win 86-80, and I think it's a late 3-pointer by Brea that really sends the Cats to the Elite Eight.
That's a high score. I'm gonna stay in the 70s. I like the Brea shot. That'll be fun. That'd be pretty cool if you made a big bang onions. I'd love a Brea onions against Tennessee in the Sweet 16. Can you imagine?
Yeah, but it stinks we don't get Harlan or whatever.
No, I know, but I mean like an onions type of shot.
I know, but I wanted to gripe a little bit about being on the TBS and not CBS. I think Kentucky Tennessee should be the main show. I'm a little sad that they got to pick Duke on Thursday and didn't pick us, but we'll see.
Yeah, whatever. More fuel. I'm gonna take the Cats 76-74. I think it's gonna be a really good basketball game. I'm gonna take Andrew Carr. I think he's literally scored 2 points in 2 games against Tennessee. Now that's in 20 total minutes, but still, Andrew Carr, Igor Milicic has been a force against Kentucky in a couple games this year. Andrew Carr's been hurt. He's healthy now. I think it's going to be a 2-for-1. He's going to hold Igor Milicic to a rough day offensively, and I think he's going to give you 12-plus points in this game. I think it's going to be a good Carr game. And, yeah, I think the Cats are going to move on to the Elite Eight, and it'll be that'd be a lot of fun here in Lexington, Kentucky, if that were to happen. Listen, everybody, we really appreciate yesterday's episode was awesome numbers, and we appreciate that from y'all. A lot of portal stuff. Carson and I both put a lot of research into that one, gained a lot of subscribers, so we appreciate all the support, as always. Thank y'all. Keep hitting that subscribe button. I think we are almost to 2,300. I'll tell you right now. 2,200. Almost 2,200. So keep hitting that button.
22. Mario Williams.
That
number for us.
There you go. So we really do appreciate it. Follow our Twitter. We'll figure out what's going on. I will be in Indianapolis, so we'll figure out something for on Saturday, hopefully talking about a game against Houston or Purdue. So stay tuned for that. Have a great rest of your Thursday. Go Cats, and we'll see you next time right here on the Wildcats Today podcast.